Hello everyone. Today I am going to be listing off the 28 colleges I applied to and what their decision on me was. So, although I applied to 28 colleges, I do not recommend anyone do this, and I will say is that I did apply to multiple Cal State, University of California, and UCAS schools, so it did reduce the load, so it's not as ridiculous as it seems at first. I'm going to start with what's closest to home, which is the University of California system. So it's just one application to all of the UC schools. I applied to the University of California, Berkeley, and they rejected me. I applied to the University of California, Davis, who waitlisted me and then rejected me. I applied to the University of California, Irvine, who waitlisted me and then rejected me. I applied to the University of California, Los Angeles, which waitlisted me and then rejected me. And I applied to the University of California, San Diego, which accepted me, which was the only UC I got into, and all of these were for aerospace engineering. It was a bit interesting, certainly, because UCSD is widely considered the third best UC behind Berkeley and Los Angeles, so to ultimately be rejected by Davis and Irvine kind of was a surprise to me. And certainly since UCSD was the last UC decision I received, I was a bit surprised to be accepted. Staying within California, I also applied to California State Universities, which are the state schools in my state of California. I applied to California Polytechnic State University, both their Pomona and San Luis Obispo campus. The Pomona campus accepted me, and the San Luis Obispo campus waitlisted me before ultimately rejecting me. I was also accepted to Long Beach, San Diego, and San Jose State Universities. Other than that, I applied to a bunch of universities in the United States on the Common Application. I applied to Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University's Daytona Beach, and they accepted me and they gave me a very competitive financial aid offer. I sent an early action application to the Georgia Institute of Technology, and they rejected me. Also sent an early action application to Purdue University for engineering. However, they did not accept me into engineering, but they did accept me for applied physics. I sent an application to the Rochester Institute of Technology for mechanical engineering with a focus in aerospace engineering. However, they did not give me that. They gave me mechanical engineering with a focus in automotive and robotics engineering with a waitlist spot in aerospace that they never could fulfill. I sent an early action application to the University of Colorado Boulder. They also did not accept me for aerospace. However, they did accept me for exploratory studies, which is their undeclared program. They also gave me a small amount of financial aid. I applied to the University of Michigan, Ann Arbor on an early action application. I was initially deferred before I was later waitlisted when the regular decision came around, and then I was finally and ultimately rejected. I applied to the University of Notre Dame, and I was rejected from there on my early action application. I applied to the University of Southern California. They deferred everyone that they didn't accept from early action, but they later rejected me at the conclusion of their admittance cycle. I sent an application to the University of Washington's main campus, and they accepted me into first-year engineering. And finally, in the US, I sent an application to the Worcester Polytechnic Institute in Worcester, Massachusetts, and they accepted me for aerospace engineering and gave me a very competitive financial aid offer. Now moving to Canada, I applied to McGill University, who rejected me for having insufficient marks. And I also applied to the University of Waterloo, which accepted me for aviation studies. And then finally, I applied to 5 schools in the UK. Now, those of you that may have been keeping count, I've talked about 22, and that's because I still consider the University of Cambridge to be on my list, but I didn't actually formally send an application there. The UK system works differently than any other US system. In the UK, you can only apply to 5 schools. You have only 5 places that will read your application, and you cannot send it to more. Other systems, like the UC system, you are able to apply to all 9 undergraduate campuses, but there's a fee for each, versus the UK system, you can only apply to 5 colleges. Ultimately, in talking with my guidance counselors and reading through their entry requirements, I determined I would not have met Cambridge's rigorous entry requirements, especially for engineering, so I never ended up applying there. However, I still had 5 places that I could send my application to. Perhaps the largest difference between UK schools and US schools is that US schools will just say, okay, you're admitted, see you in the fall. Now, they do have, like, some conditions, but, like, they're generally very relaxed conditions, like you can't break the law, and you're basically done with working really hard at the start of your second semester of your senior, which is your final year of high school. However, the UK is different. In the UK, they give you these beautiful things called conditional offers, which basically means, okay, you can come if and only if you get these marks. Now, there are some exceptions, but I won't get into those. So I applied to the University of Manchester and received a conditional offer of a 5, 5, and 5 with a 5 in AP Calculus BC and AP Physics C Mechanics, and I have to score at least a 6.5 with no lower than 6.0 in any band score of the IELTS English Language Proficiency academic exam. I applied to the University of Sheffield, which gave me a conditional offer of 554 in my AP exams, including a 5 in either Calculus BC or Physics C Mechanics, and a 4 in the other one. I also had to pass and receive my high school diploma with a minimum GPA of 3.0 on a 4.0 scale, so that's a B average. And finally, I had to get at least a grade of C in grade 12 English, which is my AP Literature course. I applied to Queen Mary University of London, and I received a conditional offer of getting a 554, and one of them had to be in Calculus BC and the other in Physics C Mechanics. So what that means is that I would have had to get a 5 in one and a 4 in the other. They also required me to receive my high school diploma with a grade point average of 3.3, which is a B+ average. I applied to the University of Liverpool, which required me to complete my graduation diploma with a minimum GPA of 3.0 and receive exam scores of 5, 5, and 4, and they had to be in Calculus BC, AP Physics C Mechanics, and AP Physics C Electricity and Magnetism. The 4 could have been in any of them, they didn't care which one. Lastly, I applied to the University of Glasgow, which gave me an offer of proving not only that I had gotten a 4 in AP Physics 1 in 2021 and a 5 in AP Environmental Science in 2022, but I also had to receive a grade of 4, so a 4 on my AP Calculus BC offer. So those were all the universities I applied to. Once again, I will say I don't recommend applying to 28 universities, but I ended up getting 12 firm offers from US and Canadian schools, and I received 5 conditional offers from the United Kingdom, and I was rejected from 11 of those schools, including Cambridge. So those were where my 28 college applications went to and what the universities had to say about me. In a future video, I will be detailing what I have to say about all the universities that accepted me. But other than that, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day. Bye!